رجعنا لكم مشاهدينا من بعد البريك. باتريسيا فيفيان بضيافتنا معالجة نفسية وفنانة تشكيلية بتتناول موضوع اضطراب الشخصية النرجسية وتأثيرها على العلاقة بين الشريكين، وبتبين الفرق بين سمات الشخصية النرجسية وعامل الاضطراب الذي يمكن أن يصيب النارسيسستيك personality disorder مع الترند المنتشرة عبر وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي في تمجيد النرجسية. هيدا موضوع طويل وكذلك متشعب. أهلا وسهلا فيك باتريسيا فيفيان، شرفتينا بحلقتنا لليوم. أهلا وسهلا.
باتريسيا، خلينا نبدأ معك بشرح شو هي الشخصية النرجسية، مين هي الشخصية النرجسية، وقديش ترياتها ممكن يختلفوا بين اللي عنده الاضطراب وبين اللي شخصيته نرجسية.
I think هلا في ترند مجتمع societal trend للنارسيسيزم، وكأنه it's the me generation and an epidemic. بس هيدا it trivializes the definition of narcissism. وكمان في لازم نفرق بين واحد ما بعرف بالعربي I'm sorry بس يكون عندهم traits of narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. Traits بيكونوا like high self-esteem, valuing what you do, but they're in sync with reality. Whereas having narcissistic personality disorder is pervasive, and it's a personality structure. I'll say this in English, characterized by a strict criteria in the DSM, which is a diagnostical.
شو هن ال strict criteria?
Like قليلة 5 from the following: sense of grandiosity, sense of entitlement, lack of empathy.
Yeah.
The person thinks they're unique and special. Many others. It's a manual اللي psychologist و psychiatrist بيشوف عليه يعملوا diagnosis.
Okay.
باتريسيا، كل واحد فينا عم بيقولوا انه في نسبة ولو قليلة من النارسيسيزم. هيدا الشيء مزبوط؟ وشو هن العلامات يلي ممكن تظهر لنا بالشخص لحتى نستدل على النرجسية ولو القليلة بشخصيته؟
كمان في like healthy narcissism and pathological narcissism. So مثل ما قلت قبل, healthy narcissism واحد like we're satisfied with our life, we're happy with the position we've reached. والinterpersonal relationships اللي هي لقيت مع الناس أو العائلة أو your significant other or your coworkers is good, is stable. And it's in sync with reality. Versus pathological narcissism, الناس اللي so in English, the people who would, let's say, not have a delusion, but have a sense of entitlement. And without, it's not reality-based. It's just their, let's say, fantasy.
Okay. So المخيلة هون بتشتغل أكتر منها related للواقع. خلينا نقول باتريسيا، ليش الشخصية النرجسية بتمارس نرجسيتها على الشريك most of the time؟ ليش بين الكابلز بنشوف إنه النرجسي بيقدر يمارس هيدي السلطة أو هيدي lack of empathy أكتر وأكتر؟
sorry, ما فهمت المارس.
ليش بنشوف الشخصية النرجسية بالكابلز كتير واضحة؟ يعني ليش بيمارس نرجسيته على شريكه، على البارتنر تبعه؟
So بالعربي كمان I'm not sure.
يعني نحن عم نحاول نص بس كرمال المشاهدين، بس it's okay.
Emotional control and من I'll just say this in English. Narcissism.
It's fine.
لما
Go
واحد
ahead.
صغير بيكون the needs and the feelings are either dismissed, ridiculed, mocked, ignored. So the person creates a false self. A false sense of self, like a self-narrative, their personal self-narrative, which is not in sync with reality. So when you're in a relationship or any relationship with your significant other or with anyone, you can't let them get too close, because they don't take well to criticism whatsoever. So they have to, nobody can get too close to get to know them too well to know their real self, which I don't think they even know their real self, but don't touch that not facade, but that self they created for themselves.
So it doesn't affect colleagues, it doesn't affect parents?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
بس إنه الوقع الكبير بيكون على البارتنر، لأنه بيستفيد من الإيموشنال feelings.
بينوا عايشين معهم. They're the easily manipulatable narcissists. كمان بيشوفوا أو بيعرفوا the weaknesses and vulnerabilities from another person, and they can like manipulate them, use them against them. وكمان they have a tendency, they will try to alienate the person from their family, they'll try. So suppose I'm with you, I will try to have you not, so then you're completely under my influence, let's say.
باتريسيا، شو الفرق أو what's the difference بين avoidant attachment style والنارسيسيزم، أو الفرق بيناتهم، أو أوجه الترابط بيناتهم؟
Sure, traits كتير قريبين لبعض, but I would say the main difference is the intent. An avoidant attachment style is an attachment style, have the relationship with others, but their intent is not to harm somebody else. They literally leave a relationship or a situation or a hobby before it leaves them. Whereas a narcissist has the intent of harming, and they derive pleasure from harming another. Maybe not consciously, but that's what they do.
هل الشخص النرجسي باتريسيا ما عنده هابي ميديوم؟ يعني كتير اكستريم، مرة منشوفه بحالة لاف بومبينج، مرة منشوفه إهمال تام completely. ما في happy medium عنده. It's either this or that.
Well, those are like patterns in relationships. They begin with the idealization, what they call love bombing, not a clinical term, but showering with compliments and talking about the future and things. And then they will slowly start to criticize when they feel that the other person is completely enamored by them. They will begin to criticize, like chip away a little bit, diminish, dismiss. And then ultimately, with the gain of controlling, being in control of the relationship.
So it depends on the other's reaction, on the partner's reaction as well.
Yes, of course. That's another thing I was going to say. Ideally, the partner should respond and not react, but that's a difficult thing to do. But that's maybe one of you.
باتريسيا، شو الفرق بين أو شو صرنا عم نسمع مصطلحات مثل الجاس لايتينج و emotional control نفسياً؟ شو معناتهم؟ What do they mean?
Oh, terrible. Gaslighting, ما كمان clinical term, بس لما when one questions their reality. مثلا حدا بيقول a narcissist, I'm hurt because you said this or did this, and the other, I never said that, you're crazy. So the person will doubt their reality. And gaslighting is very, very dangerous. The person might find themselves isolated, wondering if they're crazy, ruminating what they did, what they said, how did it go wrong. And emotional control. Yes, the goal is for them to control another, to be in control of the situation uniquely, not to get caught. If you want, not to expose this false self they've created, not to see the true. I hope I'm explaining it well.
يعني فينا نقول إنه النارسيسست عم يعمل grooming للشخص throughout gaslighting و emotional control.
بmanipulation way, بس ما بعرف إذا هن they're conscious of this or not. You know, like despite themselves, because it's a bit of self-sabotage as well. But they will not see it. They will not see that.
إذا بدنا نطلب منك باتريسيا شوية tips، كيف البارتنر لازم يتعامل مع الشخص النرجسي تيخفف شوي من الدمج؟
Can we maybe in English? أجرب. كتير مهم إذا واحد not to take it personally. And also to respond and not react. مثلا I like to أقول للpatients تبعي, not necessarily narcissists, but بيلاقوا they're reacting, you know, and playing that game, you know, the ping pong match of يعملوا كأنه في camera, like here, like كأنه في camera in the corner, like extract yourself from the situation, as if there's a camera in the corner.
Grey rock.
Oh, yes, I think I read that term recently. I read that on social media. That's interesting. Yes, that's interesting. Or like a camera observing what's happening to see, are you triggered by something? Are they doing? And to see that it does not belong to them. If someone is insulting or demeaning, or perhaps it does, but often it doesn't. So not to doubt themselves and be in a state of confusion and shock and vulnerability completely.
As we mentioned, مثل ما ذكرنا مشاهدينا بأول حلقة، حضرتك حاصلة على PhD بعلم النفس. هل العلم أو الساينس وصل على أنه يعالج or to cure or to help cure النارسيسيزم؟ هل في حلول للنارسيسيزم؟
في، بس المشكلة إنه narcissists ما عندهم they don't self-reflect, ما عندهم awareness.
And
I'm
they will
talking, of
never
course.
admit.
They literally cannot, because the narcissist absorbs all that's good from everything, and it's me, and everything that's not good or not perfect is not me.
So they don't even see the problem.
They don't even see the problem. Usually بيكون بلكي أهلهم or their spouse or someone, they kind of insist يروحوا على therapy. But in therapy it is possible إذا they engage in it. تنقول I'm the therapist, بيشوفوا إنه me as a person عندي maybe qualities and also weaknesses, and I'm not rejected because of I'm human. وكمان هن. In therapy, I have to, or the clinician has to be able to contain everything they throw, because they do give you, I'm stupid, you don't know anything, this isn't helping, you know. It's overt and it's covert ways of indirect, subtle ways to absorb all this, to make them see that even if they, and to see the way they denigrate others, the way they put others down, is to teach them another way of responding and be interacting with people. It doesn't have to be you belittle others in order to puff yourself up.
Yes, of course. طب where does all this come from, Patricia? يعني شو صار هن وصغار? What was the
trigger.
No,
the trigger or the root cause?
في theory لما بيكونوا صغار بيكون في some kind of a trauma، مثل ما حكيت قبل شوي. واحد عنده needs, feelings, she والأهل or the caregiver.
So neglect?
Or ridicule or dismiss, or if you're a boy, don't cry, boys don't cry, you're a baby, or so many different ways of dismissing someone's feelings and emotions. So the child, well, who am I? That's the main question narcissists have. They feel empty. They don't know who they are. When they're younger, they would create a false self. Whatever it is, they believe I am of course, it's all positive and perfect things. And they will maintain this throughout adulthood through the superficial kind of surface level relationships. No one gets too close, putting others down.
So it
It's
starts
very
very
sad,
early.
by the way. Oh, yes. Yes, or at least it'll show in early adulthood. There's no such thing as it happens after. It's a sad situation, though.
Sure it is.
Does a narcissist ever admit؟ هل النرجسي بيعترف، أو هل في حالات cases سبيسيال اعترفوا فيها النرجسيين إنه معهم هيدا الديسوردر؟
بعرف كل الناس if somebody admits, but I think usually there's no awareness. Awareness, like for example, you could, anyway, I can talk for myself. I know what I think are qualities and definitely what my faults are, or somebody says constructive criticism, I listen to it, but they don't have that. They literally absorb all is good from when they were young, and all that is bad is not me. The deflecting, the victimization, it's always the other who caused my pain, my things. There's no possibility. It's not like it's difficult. It's not, doesn't exist. Do you see what I mean? It's not like it's difficult to admit. I can't, they don't see this. It's shot down.
هل النرجسي, does the narcissist lacks a certain part or like a certain chemical يلي بخليهم إنه هن يكونوا assert of أو نوع من ناس incapable إنه يحسوا بالempathy؟
That's interesting. ما بعرف إذا في شيء chemical like neurotransmitters in the brain. I think it's more psychological and shaped by experience and the childhood. But of course, for narcissists, it borders on psychosis, whether it's a lie or a delusion. I mean, do they know they're lying? Or is it manipulation? It borders on that, and sometimes they will really believe their whole persona that they created for themselves.
ليش بدك تقولي شيء؟
بس كنت حابة أسأل، هل is this persona, let's say for instance, ما بتتغير؟ الثيرابيست والسايكولوجيست ما بيقدر يغير لهم اياها هيدا الفولس بيرسونا.
But that's like إذا بيقبلوا يروحوا على therapy، إذا بيقبلوا وبيضلوا بtherapy to go through the therapeutic relationship and report exactly to accept themselves after as human, to accept yourself as having qualities and faults. I mean, you're just human. Everyone, like I can have anger. It could. But it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Just because they don't go into therapy, basically.
Because they will never admit it. If they can see, if they cannot see it,
exactly.
ديجا يعني هيدي مشكلة.
So I just want something. بس بيشوفوها بغير, by the way. I suppose it's me. I wouldn't see my faults, but I can see it in others.
بغير ناس.
So the therapist can be a mirror in a way. And suppose I'm the therapist, I can be a mirror in the way you're able to see in me my qualities and default, and I'm not falling apart, because the narcissist will fall apart. If you call them out on something, they'll either react with rage or some kind of anger or something, or defense. It's a defense mechanism as well. Not mechanism, pardon. It's a defense against insecurity, or they will withdraw, retreat. And
باتريسيا، بنهاية حديثنا do you think اليوم من وراء السوشيال ميديا، من وراء السيلفيز and the followers and the likes and whatever طلعت الشخصيات النرجسية على السيرفاس أكتر؟
personality
بينت
disorder.
أكتر، صارت obvious أكتر.
بس هذا بيروح للي بلشنا معه أول شيء the societal trend towards, but maybe in the sense of entitlement. ما بعرف يقولوا بالعربي بس entitlement in the me, everything's about in the selfishness, but certainly not the personality disorder. That's or else we're all going to be victim maybe of having this in a sense.
Thank you for being with us, باتريسيا فيفيان. شرفتينا، معالجة نفسية وفنانة تشكيلية. أهلا وسهلا.
شكرا كثير لكم. ميرسي.
شكرا لك.